Right, good morning. Today's job, just set up the bits and bobs I'm going to need, but basically this job, whole house has just been plastered. We've got a radiator to install on this wall. I'm going to cut these pipes out, two MV couplings, and renew the coppers coming down, along and up. This is a 7x6 radiator. We've just rolled and strolled the area we're working in, and then a couple of dust sheets. And then the other rad we've got to change is this one. So this, I believe, is an 18x6. This is coming out, it's on drops, just coming out the ceiling there and just runs along. We're just going to cut the flow and returns there, bring them along, and then we're having a tall column radiator going on that bit of wall there, which I'm waiting for to be delivered. It should be here within the next half an hour, and then that rad's going to come off and put a radiator there. So fairly simple job today. We're just plodding along and try and make the pipework as neat as we can. Cutting the new drain off on there, new drain off on that one, and that should be it. Simple enough job for today. Got the hose run out into the back garden, draining away fine. So yeah, should be a nice comfortable day. The customers bought the radiator, so I assume it's black because I've got some black valves here, so I assume it's a vertical black column sort of radiator going there. And install them rad valves straight down, come along, T on the bottom, one on the left, and then swing back onto them. Just two solder couplings down there. Get some new clips in, so it should be alright. It should look neat enough, and we'll crack on. Okay, so this one is now complete. I actually got it a bit wrong what I said earlier. That is actually the existing radiator. I came here last week and took that off the wall so the plasterers could skim that wall. But it's actually the same one going back on. The new one that I've bought, 7x6, is actually going into the kitchen. So I said earlier that it was a new one going there, 7x6, but that is wrong. But yeah, the existing one's put back on, renewed the pipework. So we've got two solder couplings up there, renewed the coppers coming down, and then the top one just swings in, a couple of elbows and up into a new lock shield valve, and then the bottom one swings down, a couple of clips along the bottom, and then that just goes into a new lock shield valve on this side, and I've put a T and a drain off on there so this drop can be drained down and worked on in the future. Unfortunately, this radiator still hasn't turned up yet. I've got it off the wall, pipes are ready to be cut out, but I don't know where it is. The customer supplied it, told me it was going to be here between 8 and half 8, and it's now gone past that time and it's not here. So I'm going to crack on with this one in here. So this is obviously all old and rusty. The customer wants it replaced, so we'll see what we can do with this one. Try and neaten up the pipes as best we can, but we are working on the existing. Got some strange pull bends coming around the corner there, so we'll see what we can do. But it's probably just going to be near enough a like-for-like swap, I'm hoping. So we'll get that one swapped out, and hopefully by that point the other radiator will be here. I'm just going to have a quick tidy up before I move into the kitchen. I hate working in mess. It really annoys me and stresses me out. So I'm going to have a tidy up of my stuff, probably get that dust sheet out that doesn't need to be there anymore, have a hoover up down here, and then move that dust sheet into there and crack on with that room. I just find it easier to just tidy as you go, and then at the end of the day it should be a little bit easier to pack up and get in the van and get off home. So yeah, hopefully shouldn't be too much longer and this job should go pretty smoothly. Okay, good timing. The radiator for the living room has literally just been delivered. That's the van over there. So I can leave the other one out the front. Hopefully the scrap man will come and take that. But good timing, so I can get that one on the wall. I've literally just took this one off and thrown that outside, and as I went out there they just turned up, so that's good timing. See if we get lucky with this one and the brackets and stuff are the same, but does that ever happen? No, you always need to change them normally. So we'll get them brackets off, probably rehang the brackets to the same heights as the existing pipes, and then just see what we can do with minor alterations to get the valve on to the new radiator. I was hoping to see if I could potentially keep the valve on this left, just because it's one of the 3/4 valves with the built-on drain off, so it saves me cutting in a T and soldering a drain off on with this old painted pipe and stuff. But we'll see how we get on. I'm going to bring that radiator in now and see what it's like. We'll go from there. Okay, we just got this kitchen radiator hung now, so In the end, I just use tail extensions, to be honest. It's not the best thing in the world to do, but the old rad was slightly wider than the new one, so it was just easier to just adjust the pipes accordingly. Yes, there isn't a drain off on this radiator now, which is slightly annoying, but there's nothing else I could do, to be honest. So I've just put that on like that. That's all in, hung and level, valves open both sides, so that one's all done. And now I'm going to concentrate on getting the living room one done. So this is the radiator. So it's sort of like, it's not really fully black, it's more of like an anthracite, and then I've bought black valves, which we'll see how that looks. It might look a little bit strange, to be honest, but and then they just hang on 4 brackets like that. The brackets are there, 3 there, 1 over there. They just hook on, and then you've got your little spacers to stop it rattling. I'm just trying to get hold of the customer now to find out exactly where they want it hung in terms of heights and stuff like that. I would assume it makes logical sense for symmetry to go between the pipe and the coving if we get the exact measurement, so that there's an equal gap between the pipe and the bottom of the rad and the coving and the top of the rad. And then in terms of centre, just go from the edge of the wall to the edge of the window, reveal there, and just put it in the centre. But they may not want that, as that will be, you know, more central here, and they might want it more to the edge and have it sort of the rad so a bit closer to the end of the wall. So I'm just trying to find out exactly what they want, and then I can cut the pipes out. So I just cut that top one off, remove that elbow and the nut and olive, swing a new pipe across, a couple of clips in line with the other 2, and then just bend up into the bottom of the rad and make it look as nice and neat as we can. It looks like they obviously want to paint everywhere, so I can see there's some sort of patches, so it may be a case of I've got to come back and take this radiator off the wall, which is a bit of a pain in the bum, but it is what it is. So once I find out from the client, hopefully in the next few minutes, I can get this hung and get it piped up, and then we can fill the system up, add some inhibitor into the system, and then off to the next job. Right, we're all done. Got a massive amount of mess to sort out, but that radiator's all on. I've currently got the filling loop open, so I'm just going around bleeding the system now, filling the system up. And then we can go around, check all of our work, make sure we haven't got any leaks, and pack up and get out of here. So it's been a decent day, not too bad. A little bit of pipework alterations, but nothing major, so made it as neat as we can. Like I said, got the tail extensions on this one, got that one all in and done with the new pipes coming down, swung across, got a new drain off installed on there, lock shields on both sides on that one because in the hallway, don't really need to have a TRV on that. I've put a TRV on this one in the kitchen just because they may not want this one on, so they can turn this off. Obviously when you're cooking and stuff in the kitchen, you might not want this room to be boiling, but you want heating on elsewhere, so I just added a TRV on this one. So it shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully this one bleeds in a minute. I'm just going to quickly make sure I've got no leaks on that. No, everything looks good. Okay, we're all done in this one. Just removed the roll and stroll and all of our dust sheets. The heating's been on. It's currently at 24 degrees and it's on. So all these rads are, yeah, lovely and hot. This is the tall vertical one. So once this room's all been painted and decorated and sorted out, that'll look lovely. I'm sure they're probably going to paint them pipes as well as painting the wall and making good, but it's all in and working. Nice and hot. Flow comes in there. Put a little drain off in the middle. I thought it would look better in the middle rather than on the end. Just a little bit less sort of visible to the eye, I suppose, maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's all in, everything's nice and hot. I'm actually going to turn the heating off now because this is an empty property and no one's living here as of yet. It's at 10 degrees. Yeah, just going to get the last bits in the van and then we are out of here. So a decent little job, nice new radiator there. or pipework there actually, existing radiator, new pipework, new radiator in the kitchen, new radiator in the living room. It's a nice little feature. Right there. A decent little job. Right, morning people. We've just arrived at our first job of the day. Like I said, we're just doing a combi boiler install this morning. Nice and simple job. Believe it's just a light for light swap basically, just newer model, fitting an Ideologic 24 kilowatt. So shouldn't be too bad. The last time he was here just said, oh, can I have a quote for a new boiler? I'm just looking to just change the boiler altogether. So we gave him a quote and he accepted. So new boiler, 10-year warranty. Get it in and done. So literally just arrived, it's 8 o'clock bang on in the morning. So we'll be here. Booked it out for the whole day. Shouldn't take the whole day. I've got a couple of other jobs I need to go and look at today as well. So I'm going to sneak off at some point and just go and do them. And then we'll be back. So see how we get on. Right, this is the boiler in question that we're changing today. So this is an old Zanussi boiler, combi boiler. So shouldn't be too bad to swap it out. All the pipework's already there, being a combi, so it's just going to get drained down. Just connected a washing machine hose onto the filter, onto the drain down hose and out the front door. Drain the boiler down, and then we've got the water off, cold water off at the moment. So the boiler's completely isolated. Pressure's now dropped to 0. Electrics are off. So I'm just going to quickly go and do a tightness test now, and then we can crack on with the job. It's very important that you do a tightness test before you start any work on a gas appliance, because if there is a leak on the gas, you don't want to be blamed for it, or not knowing whether the new work you've installed is what's leaking. So it's very important. Right, we'll just quickly carry out a test on the gas, make sure it's all okay. Let's just set that up there. So turn our gas off. Do a quick let by test, make sure that's alright, 1 minute stabilisation, and then we'll top the gas up to between 19 and 21, do a tightness test for 2 minutes. Right, that's the tightness test carried out, that's all sorted. Okay, boiler's off the wall, that's out on the street now, someone will probably come and collect that. Got a tool set up, it's 8:43, boiler's off. New boiler's unboxed, all the valves made up onto it, so that's ready to go on. We've got the jig there should we need it, but I'm wondering if the new boiler will actually hang on to the old bracket because it looks identical. But otherwise we'll get the jig put on the wall, mark up the new bracket, get it screwed in, get it mounted, cut our flue, and then we'll get the pipework sorted. Right, new boiler's on the wall. Steve's doing this one, I'm just standing back doing nothing, looking pretty. Sorting all the pipework out as best as we can, but it's pretty much a light for light swap. We're just cutting in a shock arrestor because there wasn't one on the previous install. We put a new lime scale descaler at the bottom. Got a new Ideologic filter to go in to give the 10-year warranty, and then PRV we're just going to reconnect onto the old one, which is that copper pipe there. Get that all in and done. Just round the corner there is a butterfly valve, I don't know if you can see it, just down there, which isolates the cold to the boiler, which is good. And the new flue has been cut, so I'll just use a grinder when I cut the flues, and then just get a file and just file it up nice so it's nice and smooth. You can run your finger around it, and you don't want any burrs on it because it will cut the flue seal on the elbow. And that's all in and done. I'm just going to pop out now, pick up a couple of bits from the merchants that I haven't got in the van, and then I'll be back, and hopefully by that point we'll be pretty much done. Okay, we're all complete, boiler's all in and working. Done our best with it, made it as neat as we can. Pipework's all in, got the filter on, shock arrestor, new line fighter, not too bad. Boiler's all in and working, tested all the heating, radiator been lovely and hot. We've done the heat test, gave it a hot flush, hot tap soiling and working. That's all running lovely jubbly. Not a bad little job.